Sawadee tuk konka, Dajahao. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It feels like it's been a long time since I filmed, you know, here where I usually am, but it feels like a long time. Today's video, I am going to be going through 5 things about learning Thai that can be challenging. But before I start the video, I just wanted to give a quick announcement. I have opened an Etsy store. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the link is down below. I created my own printable PDF notebook that I use for my language learning studies. So it has things like transport, verbs, all of that sort of information. I'll insert some stuff now. So if you are looking for a printable PDF notebook for your language learning studies, then do check out the one I created. I am planning and creating some more to add to my store. Other notebooks that are different from the language learning one, also some supplementary ones to go with the language learning one. You know, I'm a busy bee, busy worker bee. The first problem that I have with Thai, we're fighting. And that is that words can have multiple words to mean the same thing. I'm still learning this, okay? Because I'll hear something and I'll be like, oh, I don't know that word. And then I'll look it up or I'll be told, and I realise that that word is a word I already knew, but I only knew that word because I knew a different word for that word. For example, off the top of my head, there are 2 ways I know how to say when. So you can say dawn or you can say mưa. Both mean the same thing. Moving on to one that gets me all the time because there are like 500 ways to say it, and that is the word only or just. So we've got my personal favourite, care. Love it, beautiful. It reminds me of dare, which is why I kind of like it. So care. And then we've got pung, another way to say it, just in case you felt spicy and you wanted to add something else. And then if you're feeling extra spicy and poetic, you can say piang. That's more of a poetic way of saying it. I'm not gonna lie to you, the only one I use is care, okay? So when I see any others, I'm like, this is confusion, confusion.com. That's one thing that is very tripping me up. Like, I feel like it's the hurdle in my 200-meter race because I feel like I've learnt the word and then I encounter another word that is a different word but is the same meaning as the word, and I'm like, oh, this is another word to learn. But we're learning, guys. As I always say, it's a journey. Speaking of journeys, the second hurdle in our journey, the second speed bump. I don't know about you, but where I am, it's very, very hard to find language learning partners. Like for Chinese, plethora of people where I live who I can find on my apps to learn Chinese with, and then I go on to Thai and it is a Sahara, okay? There's not even a mirage in the distance. I'm looking for someone in my time zone, someone even in Europe, because I want someone in my time zone. My Thai friends are in Thailand, which is great. I mean, they're great, but you want someone in your time zone as well so that it's a little bit easier to arrange calls, because obviously when we arrange calls we have to consider if it's going to be really late for them or if it's going to be really early for me, and then finding a time that sort of suits both of us. So ideally I would love to be able to make friends with someone in my time zone, but for some reason Thai just is one of those languages where I seem to not have anyone on the apps. The universe is like, baby girl, sit back down. The fourth, wow, we've jumped. The third speed bump in the journey links with the finding partners, and that is the real lack of resources. Like for Thai, it is a struggle. Some of the apps on my phone, I feel like they're still in their beta mode. I'm on the web developer, like, oh, can you send us what your thoughts are of this app stage? Like, there are hardly any really good apps for Thai, really, like hardly any sort of textbooks or like easily accessible textbooks. Compared to Chinese, French, Spanish, English, you're drowning in resources. In resources? Yes, in resources? Oh, English. You're drowning in materials when it comes to those sort of more widely learnt languages. But with Thai, I'm telling you, again, we're back to the Sahara. I'm having to like Google so many different combinations to try and find really good things and resources to use. So what's up with that? Like, that is why you have me. I go through the struggles of finding them, and then I can tell you where to go to find them. But I do wish that there was a lot more out there that I could use. Give us more resources, please, more apps, more books. Throw it all at us, we love it. The fourth one on the list is the word die. Let me tell you why I've got problems with this word. I love it, die. It feels like it can go anywhere, like die, die, die. Problem with this word is it confuses me because depending on where it goes before or after the verb will depend on the meaning of the sentence. Now, when I say this, for example, when you have it before the verb, it could mean that you've done something. But then when it's after, it means that you can do something. And for some reason, my brain is just like, nope. We don't understand. So here are two examples. Chan tam nan meidai. I completely went off script there. I was meant to say chan tam ban. Nope. Chan tam ngang. Nope. Let's do it again. First example is chan meidai tam gan ban ka. I haven't done my homework. The second is chan tam gan ban meidai ka, which is I can't do my homework. You see what I mean? The die before is like medai before is like I haven't done, but then medai after is I can't do. When it's more complicated and it's going like if I'm speaking without thinking, then I put the die in the wrong place and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is hard. My final point, the biggest problem I have. Lean in, guys, this is serious, okay? Serious faces on. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. My final problem with Thai, yeah? Listen up, people, is that it is so addictive. I just love it so much that I am addicted to it, okay? My family don't even want to talk to me sometimes because I'm like, oh, let me tell you what I learned today. And I'll be like, Sawadee ka, Khop ka, and they're like, stop, okay? We do not know what you're saying. I am so addicted to Thai and Thai shows, Thai songs. I love learning about the culture. I love learning the language. I love hearing the language. I love speaking the language. I love talking about the language. My addiction is a mile wide. It is ridiculous. But will I change that? No. It has no right being this addictive, this cool, and I wish more people learnt it. Because I feel like I said in my earlier point, there is not enough resources, there's not enough people learning it. I wish that Thai was as popular as other Asian languages like Japanese, Chinese, Korean. That does bring me to the end. There is only one thing left to say. Smash the subscribe button, the like, the share, drop your comments, check out my Etsy store, see what you think of the notebook. As I said at the beginning, there are more designs and like supplementary parts to them coming soon, so watch this space. As always, have a blessed day, and until next time, Sawadee tuk kong ka, Sajien, goodbye everyone.